We are recording this, so anyone, if you got to cut out or if you come in late, you can see everything. So I'll be recording through all of this. And just another minute or two and we'll get started. Again, thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm excited to do this. And if you have any questions or things like that, just drop them in the chat. And towards the end, I'll open up for discussion and self-care talk and all of that. And I'll unmute everybody, possibly. That might get a little crazy, but we'll make it work. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna get started just so we're not all like sitting here, and as more people come in, we will roll with it. What I'm gonna do is introduce myself, talk about Solden for anyone that doesn't know about it, hasn't met me, hasn't been to a pop-up, give you a little breakdown of that. I will then go into how I use tarot and all this stuff here in my daily routine, how I work with a self-care routine and take care of myself mentally and all of that and the importance of it all. And then I'll do a breakdown of product. I have oracle cards, tarot cards, crystals of all different kinds, and a few books to show off. I want to get started, and I'm going to put this in the chat. I have 2 discount codes for you guys. One is for soldenct.com. You can find everything I'm going to display here today on the website. And then I'm also going to share a discount code for Vasu. So thankful that they kept this going. Today was supposed to be an in-studio pop-up that we are unable to do, and Natalie reached out to me last week, asked me if I wanted to do a virtual one, and of course I do. I love connecting with all of you, and I love talking about tarot and sharing all this stuff, so any chance I get, I'm happy to do it. So code number 1 for Solden is Aries15. And the code for Vasu is Love15, and they're both for 15% off products. I'm going to type that in the chat now. And you can type this in at checkout. And Vasu is Love15. Aries, my code goes through the end of April. I think as far as I know, Vasu is doing 15% off until further notice. I don't know the end date on that. So feel free to pick up some goodies over there. I will show off. I splurged, and I got I think it's their Glow Ritual Kit. It comes with I Am Inspired oil and their Moonbeam Dream Spray, and also these goodies. So 2 tea packets, which is what I'm drinking with you guys today. Some incense that smells exactly like Vasu, and Santo, a great bag of bath salt scrub, and this deep listening book, which I'll be honest, I got this yesterday. I have only read 1 page in it, but I'm super excited to get started on it as we go. Um, and then I also got I Am Here and Clean Yogi Spray. So that's what I use my 15% on. They have a lot of great stuff. They have their whole crystal collection. So this Moonbeam Spray has amethyst crystal in it, and it's great for intuition and dreaming. The mantra is, I dream so I may live awake, my truth guide me. So that's some really great stuff from Vaso. And let's get going. So let me put this stuff off to the side. Welcome everyone. I'm Karen. I am the founder, creator, whatever you like to call it, behind Solden. Solden is a pop-up shop and online shop. I sell all different types of tarot decks, oracle cards, crystals, smudges, and accessories. I have 3 books, slowly growing. These are all things that I use in self-care to do with my tarot ritual. I started Solden strictly off the fact that I wanted a store like this to visit one day. There are so many indie decks by artists from all over that are hard to see in person. And there's a deck that I really just wanted to sit down with and touch and pull some cards, and there was no one in the area that sold the deck. And I just thought to myself, I wish somebody would open one, like a store like that nearby. And then I said, why not me? So Solden's been around for a little over a year and a half. The idea came to me 2 years ago in May, so next month, which is crazy because it doesn't feel like it's been that long. And then I had my first pop-up the following October, and I've just been kind of running since. It's developed over time. I only wanted to sell tarot, oracle, and like a little bit of crystals to begin with. I only read for myself. I refuse to do personal readings for others. And over time, as I've met all of you and gotten to know everyone, and also have received many messages from Spirit that I should read for others, and this is a really great thing to do for people. So I do offer personal readings as well. Those are available on my website. I only have a few, but if you reach out to me directly, I can talk to you about anything that fits your needs. Solden, the name, is a merging of 2 words, soul without the U and den, and it's the merging of you. So your inner and your outer, your light and your shadow. So like the soul is the sun side of you, and the den is that darker, hidden away side of you. And I started doing tarot a little over 4 years ago. I had started out on this journey. I was really anxious and depressed and going through some really hard times. It started with, that like breakdown moment. And then I started a diet routine and started losing weight. And when I started taking care of my physical body, I realized that, my mental body wasn't thinking that how I thought things would change. I thought life would be better and all these thoughts would go away once I started losing weight. And so I reached out to a therapist, and I started going to holistic therapist, and she kind of pushed me, I don't want to say pushed me, but opened me up to meditation and really suggested that I journal, which I had always done in and out through time. I had kept personal journals, like written journals, and I also had online journals. I've always liked to write and kind of review and reflect on things that I've done or things that have happened. But this opened me up. I was always into astrology and, always believe what's meant to be will be, what happens is what happens. And I guess I always had the underlying of this. And as I grew more open to the spiritual world, I just became absolutely obsessed with tarot. The first deck I saw was on Instagram. I really liked the artwork of one of the artists. Her name is Danielle Noel. She does the Star Child Tarot and the Moon Child Tarot. And I was following her on Instagram, and I thought I was just following an artist, and later found out that this was all tarot cards, and I wanted the deck, but stopped myself short and said, who are you to do tarot? Only fortune tellers do it, and only people who see spirits and deliver this message can do that. And I quickly debunk that. I read not too long after, the universe kind of put something else on my Instagram feed, and it was Material Girl, Mystical World by Ruby Warrington. It's a book, and I have it here because this is a really great, it's the Now Age Guide to a High Vibe Life, and it's a self-help book, and it's her journey into the whole spiritual side of things. There's a section about yoga, meditation, kind of like all the little things and how she connected to them. And then there's a chapter on tarot for mental health. Once I read that, I went directly online and bought the Star Child Tarot and the deck and started learning. So that is how that came to be. I was nervous. I bought a little crystal kit for protection because I didn't want to let anything bad in. And I just started reading the cards every single day, anytime that I could. I would pick a card and I would read the guidebook. I would pick a card and I would read the guidebook. And having such a love for it, I would, Google things and learn this. And my knowledge has just grown, as any type of hobby that you take on does. You just want to know more and more and go deeper and deeper. And I started buying more and more decks and have gotten to this point. So a few more people have joined. I just want to let you guys know kind of the breakdown of what's going on. I'm doing an introduction, and then we'll go into a whole bunch of product stuff. I'm not going to try to linger too much on the product. I have a lot of it and want to be able to show it to all of you. And then towards the end, I'm going to open it up and talk about self-care and why a ritual is important and how I incorporate tarot into my ritual, and open up the floor for anyone to join in. I'll unmute you all or something. I'll figure it out. And if you guys have any questions for this segment of it all, I have my phone over here. I'm logged in on my personal account on my computer, which is recording, and I have Solden on my phone with the chat open. So feel free to drop anything in the chat, and I'll respond there. There's also 2 discount codes there, one for me at Solden and one for Vasu. The one for Solden is Aries 15, you get 15% off, and Vasu is Love 15, and it's also 15% off. So thank you guys all for being here, and I think that's about all I have to say about Solden. I could talk for hours and hours and hours about it, but I'm going to get into the product section of this all. I spilled 2 tarot decks all over the ground. So I'm going to talk while I try to clean this up the best I can. Oh, it was only one. So we're first going to talk about decks that I have. We have Oracle decks and Tarot decks here, and I'll break down the difference between the two. Oracle decks are open to interpretation. They are completely up to the maker into what messages they want to come across, what kind of thoughts they want to invoke in people. Some people have go by like guidelines. So there's Oracle, a lot of people use, and they feel, I have heard that they can be a little bit more intuitive with it. There's no set structure to it. It's completely up to the maker, and it's usually a card with one word or a phrase, And some of them come with guidebooks, or you just use the messages from the card and intuitively develop that meaning. Tarot follows a set structure. It has a major arcana, and then it has a minor arcana, which is similar to a deck of playing cards. It has 4 suits. Each suit has ace through 10, and then you have the court cards. In traditional decks, it's page, knight, queen, and king. And the 4 suits also refer to the 4 elements. We have wands, which are fire, cups, which are water, pentacles, which are earth, and swords, which is air. And they also correspond to the zodiac signs and all of that. The minor arcana has to do with our day-to-day life and people in our lives, just things that are going on. And the major arcana are overarching themes going on in our life. I personally was drawn to tarot, so it's what I use most. I have collected a lot of oracle decks because of Solden and have fallen in love with oracle. I use it in addition to my tarot readings, either as a clarification, a way to get started. Usually when I'm reading for others, I think it's a really great beginning energy to start with and get flowing and kind of get the intuitive senses moving. And tarot is kind of how I break it down. I am a creative, but I like my creativity in somewhat of a box. I like having some sort of structure. So that's really why I like tarot, because that card is that meaning in almost every deck. So with that, we have the traditional tarot deck. And the reason Solden started is because a lot of indie artists are making decks that are beautiful and also come with their own guidebooks that follow the meaning of the traditional meanings, but they do take in their own journey with tarot and add in their own little flair. So it's really cool to see that as well, how people correspond to the different things. So that is tarot and oracle. Then I have a whole bunch of like crystal options for you guys and that fun stuff. We have tumbled stones, points, clusters, towers, and kits. And then we'll kind of go into like the extras. We have smudges and some books for everyone. So I'm going to start with oracle decks, move on to tarot decks, and then move on to crystals and all that stuff. If you guys have any questions about the decks as we go through, like I said, chat is open. Please add anything there. I've got my phone here, so I will try to stay alert to that for you guys. And yeah, so let's get started. I'm keeping track on time. I can't believe 20 minutes has already gone by. Okay, so first we're going to start with this crazy oracle deck. It is Rebel deck. And this, there are 2 versions of it. So we have the regular Rebel deck and we have Rebel deck Couples Edition. These decks, if you want a really good punch in the gut, if you need to get yourself out of a headspace, whatever, this is the deck for you. They are oracle decks. They're super fun. This is the regular Rebel deck. So it has a word or 2 on the front, and then the back holds a message. So this one says detox, the front, and the back of it says drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. So that right there kind of shows you the attitude of this deck. And it is, it's an oracle, but the tagline, and I think it's been changed since this deck, is actually tarot with attitude. So that's funny, a good way to go. This is the Couples Edition. So all white cards, and the back has the meaning. So same setup. Sorry, my screen is blinking. And my chat isn't updating. So we'll see. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I think chat is actually coming through. Oh, man. Oh, thanks, guys. Okay. So if you guys don't mind making the chat viewable to everyone, or if you do want something private, if you can do it to Solden Tarot that's in this group. I don't know if I can choose the ones because I'm the person, but if you could do it to Solden Tarot, that's the one that signed in on my phone, because otherwise I'm going to be squinting at my screen, and I don't really want to do that. But the first question we have is, what's the best deck for beginners to understand tarot? I'm just going to hold off on that for 1 second. But that is, I would say my go-to is the Rider-Waite unless another deck is calling to you. But I'll get into that as I go into tarot. Thanks, Michelle. So this is the couples deck, and I'm just going to read this first one. And it says, one of you is doing too many fucking chores. That person better get laid now. So as you can see, this deck just has a lot of personality and a lot of attitude. It's a fun one. I know when I'm like super in my head and really need to get out of that chain of thought, I just grab one of these. And I usually don't like the message, but it's usually because it's needed. So we're gonna move on to some more oracle decks. The next one we have is Buddha, Wisdom, Shakti, Power cards. This is the box it comes in. And these are the cards. They're super pretty. And a lot of the cards just have like this blue border, very earth toned. And these are all different goddesses, and their warrior spirit comes through. I'll be honest, I haven't used this deck a whole lot. I've maybe only pulled 1 or 2 cards from it, so I can't talk about it too much. I really like the energy from this deck. I remember sitting with it maybe like a week or 2 ago and being like, oh, I'm into this. And it comes with this awesome guidebook. And if you guys want to, I don't know how well you guys can see all of this. I'm doing my best. I don't really know my video quality, but if you want to follow along on my website, everything is listed there, soldenct.com/shop. And everything I'm going to be talking about today is listed there with a few like alt pictures. So you could see the cards up close in really good imagery, because that's all updated. I did it all yesterday for you guys so that you can have access to everything. That is Buddha Wisdom cards. I need to put these in a place that's easy. Right, and our next cards are the Magical Times Empowerment cards. These come with a small guidebook, and this is the back of them. These are the cards we have. So these are one word, and then they have a little bit under here, a phrase, and then it goes into even more in the book. So even though this book is small, I find these cards to be really great to work with. You get the word here, you get this here. I'm someone that really likes to like read as much as I can into the card to just kind of get myself going. So that's how we do that here. We have cards like Journey, focus on how far you have come, not how far you have to go. You will find help in unexpected places. So these are all empowerment based. They're going to get you going. They're going to be happy, and they're going to be uplifting. So not so much a punch in the gut if you're not that type of person. These are that way to go. And this is the box it comes in. It's really sturdy. It's got this nice closure to it. How are you guys liking this so far? Are you guys good with me going through all the decks like this? Just let me know. And for those of you that joined in after, there is 2 discount codes in the chat there, one for Solden and one for Vasu, who's so lovely. Thank you. Elizabeth just commented, thank you. For anyone looking for that stuff, we have next this deck, the Halloween Oracle. This is the box it comes in. It's a really big box. It's awesome. It's thin though, but it fits everything to carry in, which is nice. I like keeping my cards in their boxes. If I don't keep them in a box, I usually keep them in one of these like travel bags. I have a few that, like, these paper boxes just don't really hold up after a long time. As you can see, like, this Rebel deck is all beat up, so that I would probably keep in like its own tarot bag just to keep it sealed away from energy, but also able to take around and do things with. So Halloween Oracle, I really love this deck. I recently became well acquainted with it. So one of the things I'm doing for all of you is I'm carrying around deck for like a week or so at a time in order to get well attuned to it, so that I can do this type of stuff and really like talk about them with all of you. There's some decks that I don't know so well, so I'm like, oh, I like the energy, but I can't talk about it too much. This Halloween Oracle has a great black border and it has awesome imagery. Oh yes, so I will post the codes at the end. I guess you guys can't see like a history of everything, but absolutely will post the codes, and I'll say them again right now. Solden is Aries 15 and Vasu is Love 15. These cards all have to do with like Halloween, I don't want to say archetypes, but different things. So we have like Black Cat, the Veil, Werewolf, Vampire. Really cool cards. That's so they have Black Cat, Fortune meets Opportunity, and then this guidebook goes in pretty in depth. And what's awesome about it is that it gives you this little poem. So Skull of Darkness, we may not wish to delve there, the shadows, the darkness, the unknown. Yet when we search, we reveal, and our power, it has grown. So you start off with that, which just kind of gets you in the mood, and then it goes into the history, not so much the history, but the meaning behind like the Black Cat at Halloween, and then how it responds to your energy in the reading. So someone just asked if the books are pretty good at guiding. I would say yes. And I will call out to the books that are a little bit less. I would say almost all the Oracle decks that come with a book, 100%, they are pretty in-depth like this. So this is almost like, this is a page and a quarter here of that meaning. The tarot decks can be a little bit different, but I will call out to that as I go through each deck, which one just has like a paper booklet and which one has a little bit more in depth for you to use in your readings. So that was the Halloween Oracle. This one I used a few weeks ago. This was the first deck that I did with like my carrying around and getting to know well. And I just was like, this deck is awesome. I love it so much. I don't know why I wasn't drawn to it personally, but super happy that I took that opportunity to do so. Next, we're going to go into Sacred Rebels Oracle. That is this box here. It's much like the Halloween Oracle that I just went over. It comes with a pretty thick guidebook. These ones I would say are even longer than the Halloween Oracle. They're broken down into the background behind the card, and then it also gives a healing process for you to use. Again, this is a deck I'm not I don't actually know if I have used this deck. I used it for the year ahead reading to read an overall energy. And these have just a phrase or one word on the bottom. This one is dream a beautiful dream with a number. So you would go to the corresponding number in the guidebook, and this is where it goes in depth into what the card means, what kind of thoughts it will invoke in your practice or whatever you choose to do. I actually have also used this. I did like the one word. I was doing a reading for someone at a pop-up, and they chose, I let people choose decks at pop-ups, and they chose this. So I did one card just to kind of get started, to get the overall feel. And it feels very energetic to me, but it is called the Sacred Rebels Oracle, so that makes sense. All right, our next Oracle deck is Crystals, the Stone deck. These are really cool cards, especially if you're really into crystals. They are a great way to combine both crystals and decks for you. And you can learn the cards this way. So not only have I had people use it in their daily routine to think about their energy, but also I've had a few people be like, these are perfect crystal flashcards. So that I never thought of, but it really is. There are, I think, 72 cards, 78 crystal meanings within this deck for you to think about. And each one so this is the front of the card, shows the picture of the stone, and on the back you get a description. You have the name of the stone, what it is, who needs it, where to put it, and when to use it. And it also ends with, I guess, like their best usage. So this one says, unlock your highest potential. And these cards are funny. They're a little bit witty. So like this one here is malachite, a beautiful stone. And what is it? With its trademark acid trip swirls, money green malachite is an electrifying mesmerizer with a high copper content. Who needs it? The overflowing in creativity, but lacking in follow through. The all business all the time. I'm not going to read all of these, but you can kind of see from that first one the like funniness in some of these cards. And then at the bottom it says claim your success. This book does come, this deck does come with a book. It is not a guidebook. It just basically goes into how to use crystals. Yeah, kind of in your everyday life. This says how to meditate, how to make a fashion statement, how to make a crystal grid, how to keep bad vibes out. So this is just a fun deck to kind of like learn a little bit more about crystals as you go, or a connection. Okay, so I do have a few more Oracle decks, but they're part of, oops, sorry. I did not show the moon deck or sigil, so we're getting there. I have two more Oracle decks. One is sigil, and I'm going to do that. There's some decks that are by one specific artist that has multiple decks, so I'm going to keep those like families of decks together. So I think there's just, there's 3 Oracle decks that I haven't touched upon, but we're going to move into tarot now. And we're going to start with Rider Waite, which, Michelle, this would answer your question for beginner tarot. There is also right behind it the starter tarot. So if you want to get like super basic beginning, you can do that. I will show that one first. The starter tarot, that is this box here. And these cards, so this is the back of them, I like bright orange, super fun. And on the flip side, we have, so this is the Magician. Again, I don't know how well you guys can read this, so if you want to follow along on my website to see all of these, feel free to. But so this has upright meaning on top and reverse meaning on the bottom if you choose to read reversals. I do not personally read reversals. It's such a draw between whether people do or not. I keep all my cards upright, and if they're not upright, I flip them, and I just try to look at the meaning of the cards as a whole when I do readings, rather than focusing only on positive or only on negative based off of upright or flipped. That's the starter deck. Next, I'm going to talk about the Rider-Waite. This is the classic tarot deck. This is the deck you most likely are aware of. I guess, like, if you see tarot places, this is probably what you're going to see. There are many versions of it. There is this classic Rider-Waite. There is the Radiant Rider-Waite. There is the Albino Rider-Waite. There's just, it's been remade so many times. They're all beautiful. The only one I have in shop is this classic Rider-Waite. We have imagery on the back. These are swords, cups, pentacles, swords. And these are really great for learning tarot because the image on the card truly does correspond to the meaning of the card. So this isn't really a card I want to focus on, but I think I don't put anything. The Nine of Swords is at the bottom of this deck. And just by looking at the imagery, you can see that this person is upset. It's black, it's dark, they're up at night. The Nine of Swords is all about worry, anxiety, overthinking things. Swords have to do with thought, mental, air, energy. And nines are usually some sort of conflict because you're almost at the end, you're almost at the 10 in almost every deck or almost every suit. Nine of Wands, Nine of Cups is super happy. Nine of Pentacles is pretty happy too, but you're always just kind of getting to that last. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm reading chats, so I'm going to randomly reply to people as I go. So that is Rider-Waite. Rider-Waite does come with a small guidebook. This deck is closed, and I lost the guidebook that goes with this one. It is a paper book like this, and it gives like one word. So Nine of Swords would probably be like anxiety, fear, restlessness. I will say though, there's guidebooks if you Google stuff, anything like that. Yes, it is coronavirus card. Basically what everyone has gone through during this time. So what's great about the Rider-Waite is if you Google these cards, they're what comes up and they're what a lot of sites use in the imagery, but also know that you don't have to like only have the Rider-Waite to do that. I'm flying through time, so we might not have time to just do like an open discussion for things, but feel free to drop stuff in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. The next cards are really cute. They're called Gypsy Witch. And it's this little deck here. And these are fun because they actually are a deck of playing cards. I'm going to assume it does not have a major arcana. I've only used them like a few times, so I don't really know, but like this is the Two of Diamonds, and then it gives a little thing in the corner. So it says, this card represents the lady whose fortune is being told and all other cards affected to a degree, in accordance to their relative proximity. When a lady's fortune is being told, number 19 has no significance in the layout. That was a really bad one to choose from. So we're gonna do the Ace of Diamonds, which says, the birds signify dire misfortune and fierce enemies. When near, it's far away. The person was 7, 16, 12, or 22 between a chance to avert evil spell. So these are a bit more game-like. I think they're really fun to just kind of like pull out with people and have some fun with. And they're very much used together, so not so much one card pulls. All right, moving right along. The next deck we have here is Tarot of a Moon Garden. This is one of my personal decks. I bought this for Solden and just kind of fell in love with it. It's super like airy and magical. The cards are really pretty and fun. It comes with a smaller guidebook like this. So a paper guidebook like the Rider-Waite comes, but it does give more sentences rather than just one word phrases. And again, you can Google the meanings of cards or buy guidebooks and easily find the meaning to them. All tarot decks still follow the general meaning of the cards. These do give a little bit different, which I really liked, because sometimes when you get a card over and over and you keep hearing like the same meaning behind it, it just gets annoying because it's not resonating. And then I switch decks or I look at a different guidebook and I get a little bit different message and I'm like, oh, that's why it keeps showing up. That's why I needed this. So this deck has been that for me. This is the front of it. And these are some of the cards. This is Temperance, a major arcana card. Two of Staffs. So the only thing different about this deck is it used staffs instead of wands. And that's pretty typical in decks across. They call them different things based on what the maker of the deck chose to do. Next, we are going to move on to Thoth deck. That is this one right here. This deck was one of the second, I think it was the second deck that I got. There is an Instagram influencer. Her name is Natalia Benson. If you don't follow her, I would suggest following her. She's an astrologer, but she always showed these cards on Instagram. I just loved them. These cards are very deep. I don't try to skew anyone away from any deck of cards, but I would say these are definitely more on like the intermediate to advanced levels of tarot just because of the understanding in the cards. I have this guidebook with it. I do not sell it through Solden, but when I bought the two, I bought this with it. It's the Crowley Tarot, and it's a really great book. I got it on Amazon. It gives description of all the cards. It talks about the imagery. It talks about the myth behind it, the interpretations as a person, general, consciousness, professional, relationships. This deck, when I really want to sit and think about what's going on mentally, it's really great for shadow work and diving deep. This is the deck I turn to. Okay. Oh, I did forget an oracle deck because it's out over here. This deck comes in a cardboard, I was going to say paper box. Here, this one's just not open. And then there is also a version in a wooden box, and that's the one I have out here. This wooden box makes your ritual everything. To open this up and just feel like it's all kept in here and so pretty. This comes with a beautiful guidebook. Unfortunately, this one, it was left out. I had a pop-up outside one day and I think the sun melted the glue, so some of the pages are a bit mixed up. If you've been to Vasu and used this deck, you know how beautiful it is. And I actually found it at Vasu and is the reason why I added it to Solden, because every time I would go to a class and pull a card, it was exactly what was going on in my life. And I just was like, that's it. This is a beautiful deck. The imagery is beautiful. Let me show you that. Actually, so this is a guidebook. On this side, you get meaning of the card. And on this side, they give you a ritual to do with the card. So this one is heal. It says, I allow stillness to heal and reveal. And then you have about a paragraph of text. And then this side, it says ritual moon bath. And it gives you steps into creating the moon bath and what to do, what to think about when you do it. The guidebook the same. I'm not sure I understand your question. I think I moved on from where you were. Is the guidebook in the same in the kit without the box? If you want to clarify that, I will answer it for you, but I'm just not sure what you're talking about, so I'm sorry about that. So this is front of the cards and this is back. they give little phrases. So this one says, I shed habits that hinder my truth. I release and renew. So that is the moon deck. Beautiful, beautiful card. I use this one a lot, usually to open readings and to get like an overall energy before I go into it any further. Oh, yes. Yeah. So this one does come with the same guidebook. It just doesn't come in this wooden box, but you get everything that is here with that one. There's just a price difference because you get this like little ritual box. Okay. I don't know. So we only have 10 more minutes, which I didn't expect to go this long. If you guys don't mind, I might go a little bit over. I do want to stop by 6 because Basu has a restorative flow with Amanda that I would like to join in on. You guys can all join in on too on Facebook Live. That's kind of like the follow-up to all this. So I just totally didn't expect this to take so long. Next, we're going to go into Mystic Mondays. This comes in this box. It's awesome. It's very well, it's like sturdy. It comes with an awesome guidebook here. Each card has upright and reversed meanings. It's small but full page of both. And it's just super colorful cards. And they are minimalist if you're into that sort of thing. This is what the back looks like. And then they have this awesome silver foil on the side. And we're starting to get into more decks that have that foil. No problem about the confusion. I'm glad I could answer your question. Okay. I think that's everything here. We're gonna move into some like families of decks now. So I'm gonna start with these because they're right here. We have the deck that got me into tarot, the Star Child deck, and its beautiful sister, the Moonchild Tarot. This is the Star Child Tarot. Wow, 9 of Swords is at the bottom of every freaking deck. Here is King of Wands. This is a little bit of like collage-based imagery, super like mystical. I love all the purples and pinks. This is the Sun card. It comes with this guidebook. It talks about the meaning of tarot, how to use tarot, how to ask the cards things, how to cleanse your cards, how to shuffle your cards. And a lot of these decks do go into that, especially with the independent artists. They all kind of have their own way of like treating the cards. And that's a hard decision between Sigil and Moonchild. So that is Star Child, and then each one has the message. Oh, so this is a court card. In the minor arcana, they all have a message, additional meanings, and then also the reverse meanings. I would say each card has like one page like this. And then the major arcana has like a page and a half. So this is the major arcana, and what's really cool is this here. It talks about the chakras that the card refers to, different gemstones that work well with it, astrology. A lot of the cards in the major arcana, 12 of them, refer to specific zodiac signs. And then they have symbols and guides as well. I don't know much about that stuff, so I can't really tap into it. That is the Star Child Tarot. This is the Moonchild Tarot, Hallie. So I'll talk about that, and then I'm going to get into the Sigil Oracle after. So Moonchild Tarot is the sister to the Star Child Tarot. It comes with this guidebook. It fits in the box. So the only difference, Star Child, every deck comes with this. It just doesn't go in the box. But the Moonchild all comes packaged up in this box. These are the cards. They have gold foil to the sides. This is the front of them. And the back follows a lot of like same type of imagery if you liked that. It's a little bit more earthy feeling. And again, her guidebook, because it's due to the moon, she talks about moon cycles and how to use your deck with the moon. And then each card has 2 pages in this book. They have about 3 to 4 words, like just quick words, an inquiry, so questions to ask yourself regarding the card. And then also upright and reverse meanings too, to look into. This deck, this deck is very special to me. I use it on full moons and sometimes new moons, which today's the full moon in Libra, everybody. So I usually pick 2, 3 cards, kind of like whatever comes to me, and leave them out for 2 to 4 weeks, depending on if I'm pulling with the full moon again or with the new moon again. So that is the Moon Child. And does that help you, Hallie? Do you want me to go into any more? I'm happy to, but I'm also trying to keep this moving. Child. And next, we're going to go into another family of cards. We have Serpent Fire, She-Wolf, and Sigil Oracle. Okay. And this is one of the decks that fell apart on me before, so just bear with me. Okay. So, the non-tarot deck here is Sigil Oracle. And this, I think is, it's 22 cards. And this is the back side. It's like a very light pink, maybe a tan. And then this is the card. So this one is Lunar. Her cards are super shiny, so I'm sorry for the reflection on them. And they have all the chakras in them as well. And then just other things. This is all archetypal symbols to help you manifest your desires. So I really like using this Oracle deck. I added it to my own collection when I got it. And I usually use it, I'll pull 3 cards at once. I really like pulling multiples of this deck, or I just pull one at the end of the tarot, and it's really great to use with She-Wolf and Serpent Fire because they have that same thing going on. And this is the guidebook that comes with it. Everything fits in the box, which is really great. So these are all sigils that she created as well. But it connects all of them to the major arcana and tarot, which is awesome. If you're familiar with tarot, it's a nice thing to like add, but you do not need to know tarot to use this and understand the meanings. And then each card has about 1 to 2 pages of a meaning, and it gives essence, so just a few words, like keywords to go off of the sigil and meaning. So it explains what the card is, like what the imagery is, and then it goes into what it means in a reading for you. And then it gives a little bit of suggestion and a manifestation to repeat to yourself. So these are really great for kind of like remembering throughout the day and being mindful of that energy. There's 2 minutes. I set this meeting for 5:30. I'm happy to go over. I just don't know if it's going to cut us off. So I'm just going to warn all you guys. If anybody knows and wants to let me know, feel free. But I'm assuming we can keep going. Oh, thanks. I hope you used your discount code. Next, in this family of decks, we have Serpent Fire, nice gold foil on the side. This is what the back of the cards look like. So again, a little bit of a collage deck. It comes with another guidebook. Everything fits in the box again. And we have the card, keywords, upright and reversed meanings, and then a mantra. So much like this had little like manifestation things, this is a little mantra to continue. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I hope you're using your codes. We have, and then finally in the family, we have the She-Wolf Tarot. And this deck has really cool pink on the side. And these are what these cards look like. So this is a card that's specific to the deck. It's Mercury. So you will find in some of these like independent artist deck that they add in a little bit of their own cards. So this one has a few extras, one of them being Mercury, and then this is the Six of Cups. Super awesome. This deck is really just great for like overall. I really love Serpent Fire for shadow energy. It is not a deck I use on myself. I usually use for others, but kind of when I get into like a deep hole of a space, I turn to this deck because it helps me so much. And the meanings in this guidebook, they do follow traditional tarot, but they give you that little bit more into like doing shadow work and stuff like that. So that's also another great reason why they work well together. And we're on our last, thank you, Marie. We're on our last, sorry, I forgot Tattoo Tarot, which is one of my favorites. It's really great deck. And it follows like old school tattoo imagery. A tattoo artist in the UK drew them, and it's words by someone else. I don't know who. Diana McMahon is the one. This guidebook is all keywords, but it has one, like for all the cards, a keyword to each of the ones you choose. It gives you an introduction and also gives you some spreads to do with the cards. And this is the awesome box that it comes in. You can store everything right in here. Okay, we have these guys. We have archetypes. This is all the Wild Unknown series. So we have 2 oracles and a tarot deck. I'm going to start with the archetypes deck. I will say these are new to Solden, and I have seen them on Instagram for so long, but I have completely fallen in love with them. They all come with these like thick guidebooks. Kim Kranz talks about her journey, how she created the cards. I cried reading every single book because it's just beautiful, and the connection that I feel to them. I have not touched the tarot deck because I know when I do, that's it. I really feel like I might not ever use another tarot deck. That's not true. But just by the animal spirit was, I went around with this. I only meant to do it for a week. I have had it for like a month. The archetypes is one that I started looking at, but it's just so in depth. So this is the box it comes in. These are the cards. They're round, which is super cool. And this is the imagery. And they also come, so they come in this big box. It's this whole unboxing. It's beautiful. The book is there. And then this is like a carry-around box if you want to do that. Next, we have the Wild Unknown Tarot. And this is the deck that fell to the ground. So it is not this small, but I'm not picking them up right now. So this is that. And then these cards are super cool. They're black and white, like splashes of color throughout, things like that. This is the box it comes in. Then you get this little guy inside to carry. And this is your guidebook. Again, super in depth, talks about the cards, and which each one you have the card on this side and the message breakdown, whatever, here. And finally, the Animal Spirit deck. I can't even, uh, put into words how much I love this deck and how beautiful it is. The energy, the everything. I read this guidebook from front to back in one sitting, and it is beautiful. I have never really been called to animal spirits that attached to oracle decks. Yes, Thais. But this one completely changed my mind about everything. This is its box that it comes in, so super fun. And is it holographic, I think? And then again, we have the guidebook card on this side, message on this side. It also gives you, when it's in balance, what are the keywords? When it's out of balance, what are the keywords? And things to do in order to bring into balance. So I think that's it for tarot cards. If you guys want to continue this for a little bit longer, I don't have too much left to talk about, but I can talk about like some of the crystal kits. Yay! You're gonna love it. I am just gonna get into that a little bit, if that's good with you guys. So I use, and I'm gonna talk about this while I move stuff, I use tarot. That's my specific thing. Every day I journal. I pull 2 cards every day. I shouldn't say I journal every day. I pull 2 cards every day. I try to journal every day. And it is the energy that I think of throughout the day. So when I'm dealing with like running thoughts or even just being mindful of how I'm treating people. Sometimes you go out into the store and someone gets you mad and you're like, oh, that's right. My card this morning was Queen of Cups, and I need to be nurturing and compassionate and caring to others. So not only is it a tool for me to talk to myself and tune in and all of that, it's also a tool to see how you're meeting the world and the energy you're putting out and all of that. I'm going to move into just I'm going to talk about the stuff that's listed on the site and kind of leave out the extras. So crystals, we'll start with that. We have crystal kits, which are over here. And these were made because my original starting with tarot was buying a kit. And I wanted to kind of, for anyone, either like it's a great gift, or for anyone just getting started, it's like a nice quick thing. And also if you're just looking for a little bit more to tune into, they're great. So this is I have 5 kids, but 4 kits. 3 of them are mind, body, spirit. So they're for that connection. All kits come with a piece of Palo Santo and some dried lavender. What I like to do with the dried lavender is waft it. I'll put like a little bit in my fingers and meditate. I usually start any tarot practice kind of like calming my mind, a few deep breaths, a little bit of meditation, really ground myself in the moment. Palo Santo, if you haven't used it, it's this beautiful sweet smelling wood. Light it. For first light, it usually takes a little while. It's going to catch on fire. You can kind of shake it out. And Palo Santo clears and cleanses any negative energy in the room and also brings in positive energy. And so that is in all the kits. And then what's different are the stones that go with it. So in the Rest of Your Body kit, we have aventurine, clear quartz, and is this? Yeah, black tourmaline. Sorry, I'm just making sure it's not something else. The size of the stones varied based upon your kit, but they are basically around this size. Aventurine is great for just good luck and keeping your body in tune. Clear quartz amplifies everything, and it's just great for all stones. And black tourmaline is a protection stone. Then we have the spirit kit. And also all of them come with this little Solden bag. It's great for carrying your crystals around if you carry more than one of you on at a time. And I'm just going to keep, just so you guys remember that everything comes with these 2. And in this kit, we have clear quartz, rose quartz, and amethyst. The reason I stopped there is because I think this is supposed to be smoky quartz in this kit, but no, it's supposed to be clear quartz. Smoky quartz is in the other one. Amethyst is for intuition, so definitely your spirit. It's great for tuning into your third eye. Rose quartz is for compassion and love, so when you're dealing with your spirit, you want to deal with it very lovingly and happy. And then clear quartz, again, is just going to amplify all of that and help you bring it all in. And our last kit here is Mind Kit, and we have Snowflake Obsidian, Smoky Quartz, that's what I was looking for, and Citrine. So with your mind, you just want to help balance it. Snowflake will help you kind of keep negative thoughts out. Smoky Quartz is great for grounding. So if you feel, if you're in your head a lot, you're kind of in that like air energy and you're not grounded. So Smoky Quartz is a great thing for that. And Citrine is just happiness and sunshine and all the good vibes. That's a breakdown of the kits. We have one more, and that is the Cleanse Kit. So this is a great kit for cleansing your space. It also comes with dried lavender. We have Palo Santo, selenite, little selenite ones, and these are great for cleansing and charging energy. And then a Palo Santo here. This is white sage. I think I called it Palo Santo. And they all come with a small abalone shell for you to, I like to rest my smudges in it as they burn. Some people like to use it to keep all their stones and stuff in. I'll be honest with you, I have about 3 of them in my room. One of them has stones. One of them I use for my smudges, and another one is just for display. So do what you please with it. We're gonna move on now since we're talking about them. I have 3 sizes of abalone shells that are all new because for the longest time I had these, and I have been getting so many questions about bigger shells, so I got them for you. We have a small shell. I think this is about like 3 to 4 inches in size. My website has like all the listings of things, so if you guys need help with that, feel free to. This is the medium abalone shell. And then we have the large one. So this one I believe is like 5 or 6 inches, and this one's 7 or 8 inches. But I mean, as you can see, like me holding them, size and stuff like that. And I will say on my website, I don't have a photo of the large one. So it's just the medium one in the photo, but please just be careful, like I guess reading the name of each one, and know that you will get a large shell. You're not going to get a medium one, but they are the same photo. Just for the sake of this, I listed it on the website. The only other thing I have on there are tumbled stones, and I feel like this has gone on for a really long time, so I'm not going to get, oh, I have a few more things, sorry. We have rose quartz points, tourmalated quartz, and selenite towers. So these are really great for your altar. Rose quartz, love, compassion, I talked about it before. This is black tourmaline and clear quartz, so it'll carry the properties of both. And I have it on a little protection grid here that I set up for doing readings. So I have this piece of wood. Crystals like grid work, they like geometry and stuff like that. So we have the tourmaline quartz, and then we have it's surrounded by black tourmaline here for me because that's what I like to use. And then we have this beautiful selenite tower. So the same as the selenite here. Selenite is super powerful. It's really great for cleansing and clearing energy. It's also super sensitive, so no water for this guy for cleansing, and you don't really want to leave it in the sun too much. I like to cleanse these with smoke, so I would run some like Palo Santo around it. If you are going to do like a sun, or you could do a moon cleansing, if you are going to do a sun cleansing, I wouldn't suggest leaving it out for too long. And I think the only other thing are these little crystal points. So they're just the heads of these. And this is clear quartz. So just a great thing to have around. Clear quartz amplifies energy. It's an all over great stone. And then these are the tumbled stones. I think I have 8 options for tumbled stones. You can find them all on my website. And they're all around this size for you guys to see. These are $3 each, or they're 2 for $5. And there's a separate like tumbled stone special listing for that if you choose. So I think that's everything. Thank you so much for the people that have ordered already. I will say there's a discount that's good through the end of April on soldenct.com. It is Aries 15 because I'm an Aries. My birthday's actually tomorrow. And I love being an Aries, and I'll talk about it all the time. So I use that for my code. You'll get 15% off through the end of the month. And Vasu, who was so lovely to put this on, they are also doing 15% off. I'm not sure when that runs through. At this point, I don't think there's a cutoff. And that code is love15. You can go over there and get some moonbeam spray, which is awesome. I use this like every night before I go to sleep. I also have started using it before tarot readings because it opens up that third eye and really gets you moving. Clean Yogi, I'm obsessed with. I basically use as my fragrance to go around. And then I got these 2 oils. There's not an oil at Vasu that I don't love. I am in love with because I've used it a lot, and it's a smell that I've honestly missed. And then I Am Inspired was part of my little ritual kit that I got from Vasu. I got the glow kit, and I did show you guys all this in the beginning, but I don't think too many of you were here. So the glow kit came with this awesome stuff. We had moonbeam spray, I Am Inspired. These 2 I bought separately in a kit. It comes with a bath scrub, a Palo Santo, some incense that literally smells like Vasu. I lit this in my room yesterday and was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm at the studio. I miss it so much. And also this deep listening book I have not gotten into. I read 1 page and I'm super excited to study that while I'm home. And I think that's it. I am sorry that that I didn't open this up for discussion because that was planned to. If you guys, I guess, have anything to say as we finish this up, it's 5:45 and this was only supposed to go to 5:30. So kind of want to let you guys go. Also, there is a Vasu Restore class at 6 p.m. on their Facebook page. It is an awesome class. Amanda is teaching it. She's a great teacher. I love taking class with her. And it's really great way to, thanks Allie, wind down, especially all of this. I love using yoga with my tarot on Saturdays when I have like the whole day to do what I want. I will like start journaling and pull a card and then do a little yoga flow and like really get everything moving and then like sit back down, do my journal, do this. So now that we've kind of like opened up you thinking about mental health and your self-care routine and tarot and all this stuff, kind of setting the intention, you go to class and set the intention to commit to your self-care routine, a little ritual to check in with yourself every day. Oh, the little Vasu kit also came with 2 things of tea. I brought my tea here to have with all of you. Oh, so good. So it's really like bringing Vasu home, which is really awesome. I have 1 book available on my website right now, Positively Tarot. I'm just forgetting stuff all over. This is a guidebook. I've never had a guidebook in Solden before. This is one. It's really great. Gives in-depth major arcana, and even in like the minors, it gives a really good breakdown of each card. And what's really cool is that it talks about its connections with other cards. One of the big things when I started tarot is I wanted like meanings behind combinations to cards. That's also something that just develops over time intuitively, but definitely having those resources is awesome. And these two books are sold out on my website, but if you guys are super drawn to them, please reach out. And when I do get them in, I will absolutely contact you. This is a great crystals guidebook. It has so many different crystals, gives you a picture, talks about the chakras, how to cleanse it, the magic behind it, notes. This is a really great book. And then this is an astrology book. It's a simple guide to astrology for the modern mystic. It talks about all the signs, the houses, everything like that if you're trying to get into astrology. And with each purchase, you guys also get this little self-care is not selfish, feed your magic, and on the back has a breakdown. This has all stones, also abalone, the meanings behind all of them, also abalone shells, the dried lavender, palo santo, and white sage. So kind of like all your ritual tools, what you would use them, and things like that. So I think that's it. I think I've just about exhausted all my products and went way over time than I expected. I hope this was informative. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, if you'd like to do this again, let me know. Either reach out to me through my website, email, direct message me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I am everywhere. Thank you. And yeah, so for the last time, I will give discount code for soldenct.com is Aries15. And for my lovely friends over at Vasu, please use love15. And yeah, I think I'm gonna sign off. Thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, please ask at any time. And love you all. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.